Welcome back, MTG Joe here, and we're going to be playing some Mardu Legends today in Historic. So this is a deck that's kind of built around legendary planeswalkers and a couple creatures. And really what I want to kind of leverage in this shell is Urza's Ruinous Blast. So it's a 5 mana, exile all non-land permanents that aren't legendary. So within the deck, we're trying to basically be like a Mardu control-y mid-range shell, so kill a bunch of things, play out planeswalkers, accrue advantage, and then beat them down like a couple different ways. So the way we do it, the legends in the deck, we have a couple Croxas for early discard. Late game we can fuel into that. We have a lot of removal spells, stuff like that, so we can fuel Croxa that way. We have a Gideon of the Trials as a way to kind of protect the permanent and attack in, as well as Emblem. We have Kaya, Orzhov Usurper, can target a lot of the smaller things, eat away at graveyards, and then kind of alt to deal damage, gain life, keeps us alive. We have a couple copies of Oath of Kaya, which is removal, life gain. And in our deck, because we have a number of planeswalkers, when they attack our planeswalkers, your opponent takes 2 damage, we gain 2 life. So it's ways around that way. We have Chandra, which is card advantage, ramp, damage, and win con all in one. I basically am trying to find shells for Chandra. I love this card so much. We have an Angrath, the Flame Chained. So attacks your opponent's hand, can steal and sack an opponent's creature. Really good against auras. You can steal their biggest thing and then kill it. And then you can also force them to lose life. So a lot of ways to kind of hit them with ultimate. We're also going to try out one Lyra Dawnbringer. Notably, you're seeing a lot more decks just be playing Fatal Push. Some also playing Blood Chief, but 5 CMC kind of gets around that. We also have an Amiria's Call as a win condition as well. A removal, we have Blood Chief's Thirst, Fatal Push. We have the Shatter Skull Smashing. We have Bedevil. We have Wrath of God and a Yahini's Expertise split. So I'm actually trying this out with Yahini's. You can cast like all your cheaper stuff as well. So I want to see how that works in this shell as well. And then finally we have some Mazebine's Tome for ramp, Thoughtseize for hand disruption, and then Tome to attack at your, or to give us card advantage. I have 24 lands. I may want to go up to the 25th, but I want to see how it plays out. Sideboard wise, we have Authority of the Consoles versus Hasty decks, Goblins, Neostorm, anything like that. Duress versus Control, Cage when we need it, Grasp for like green-white decks, Abrade versus like Cat Ovens, and then the colorless decks. Settles when we need to catch them at instant speed, and then I want to try out Thought Distortion against Sultai and like blue-white based control decks. So yeah, that is the deck. Let's take it to Historic Ladder and see how it goes. Hey Wraith, appreciate the follow nonetheless. As Wraith mentioned, we are doing a giveaway, raffle if you may. I have a code for 1,000 gems on Arena, and I want to give it away to one of my Twitch followers. So we'll do the draw on the weekend. If you haven't already done so and you want to enter, you can just follow on Twitch. It's free, and we can go from there. But in general, if you don't catch us always live on Twitch, all my videos go up on my YouTube channel, so you can always catch it there, both MTG_Joe. Okay, so not a great start line-wise. I think I want to get rid of Wrath, I think. We need a land. Okay. This will be a test early. Oh, thank you, Ron. Okay, so this is color, or like the Walker's deck. So we can be seeing a Nisa next turn, which is kind of annoying. So we need to activate this now. Jeez, we're just not going to see lands, are we? God Pharaoh statue is also annoying. They're going to tax us out of the game. Let's just go to sideboards without showing them more. So we want Duress for this matchup, Noxious Grasp. and Thought Distortion. I still think our sweepers are fine. This early stuff is okay. I'm going to get rid of the tomes in this matchup. Also get rid of Kaya. Probably... So Ruinous Blast is interesting because they're going to be a big mana deck, so it can sweep up their stuff, but it leaves behind like Ugin and some of their other stuff, so maybe we trim down one of those as well. So that game, we scooped early, but we missed the line drop. They were going to be playing our tax spell on the next turn, and we weren't able to activate, so we were just too far behind at that point. So it's better sometimes to just not provide information. I think we keep this. I think I'm going to add another line to the deck. That was the one thing I was a bit concerned with. This is one of the decks I always lose against. It's not a very good deck, but I always seem to lose against it. Let's see what's going on here. So let's do that. Line to be great here. It's 2 games in a row we can't draw, so we're definitely adding another line to the deck. My thought was with the Mind Stones, we didn't necessarily need the lands, but it was kind of offsetting, but we just hit. Doesn't really help here. So next turn I can get Nisa at least off the battlefield. And then we can clean up their board. Running lines would be good. I want to keep this Fatal Push ideally for this Mobilized District. Interesting. They didn't activate. We're taking a lot of damage this turn. Okay. Oh, why can't I cast this? I don't have a legendary permanent in play. It doesn't count thing. We didn't need to shock. That's super annoying. So I forgot for legendary sorceries, you do need to have a permanent in play. Okay, let's switch this up a bit. Not what I intended. We do need to add another line to the deck. So let's... In that case, I don't think Ruinous Blast is consistent enough if we look at it, because we have 1, 2, 3... So 3, 4, 5, only 5 unique cases. So I think we cut that. We go up a Wrath of God and up a land here. And probably play a Dragon Skull Summit. And then isolated chapels. I think we do the full isolated. Or maybe just the plains. I like this as a way to hit planeswalkers as well. And it allows you late game to sink mana into it. Let's just go basic lines. I think the 1 damage one is too narrow of an effect. Okay, so that should be 23, 24, 25 lines plus the Mind Stones. Okay, let's try this again. Part 1 is always figuring out lands. I feel better now. We have one more land in the deck. We fix that. It is, but it can be used in like random situations as well to like deal to 2/1/1s. I found it useful as like a one of. I wouldn't go more. Okay, we'll keep this. Opponent goes first. So I do want to keep them off here. Can slow down their turn progression. I would love a non-shock land here. Okay, they're on the Explore package. So I do think we want to potentially give ourselves the option to Wrath on the next turn. Might wait one more turn. Okay, they're on some sort of Sultai version. Probably set up one scry. Okay, so that's like the worst case. They'll get 2 more points here. So this is probably a Command the Dreadhorde deck. So we will want to get Kaya as soon as possible. That's not bad follow-up. Just wipe here. Yeah, they're definitely a Command the Dreadhorde deck. Oh yeah. So Tamio's gonna shut off the discard effects. So we do want Kaya. Another Wrath's not bad. So I think what we do here... Let's draw first. See if we get Kaya. Okay, we hit a land. I think we just want to take that off. It digs them more into Command the Dreadhorde. I'm 1 short. So I think we actually just set up this turn. Kill this. Play this tapped and just say go. I want to have this up to ideally plus. Okay, we got Thoughtseize. Just start getting cards out of their hand. Just lines. I think we hold on to this at this point. Even if they command, I have this to clean up, and I think we just try to get some card advantage. They're going to take a lot of damage. Well, that is a card. We get to steal their Uro though, which is nice. And then if they want to escape it again... Yeah, I'm going to cycle. We have nothing at this point that costs this much mana. Thank you. I would love 3 life and a card. I think we cycle this now. Okay, we have Fatal Push. In case I get a Planeswalker that I want to play out. So they can escape Uro again, but that's basically their whole turn. Thanks, Al. Yeah, I really like Angrath. Okay, so they drew another Uro. That puts them to 10 cards. $34 cards. I'd like a way that we can kill this without having to use this Wrath of God. They left the package in right now. Yahinis doesn't actually do anything. Weird that they'd... I guess it puts one more card into the bin for Uro. So I think we just kill this. They could spend their whole turn again exiling it. But then that takes out the rest of their graveyard. And then to be honest, I'm probably going to steal it if I don't draw anything better. Angrath's done quite a bit of work here. That makes it a bit worse. And Llanowar. I still think we do this. We just need, like, something to get going here. We have Hostage Taker. Like, any of our walkers would be good. Can leave the elf. They have, like, infinite mana. Even something like Gideon would be good. Another Othakaya would trigger Revolt. Bloodchief's Thirst. Could be Command the Dreadhorde. Take the 1. They are getting to the point where they might just draw the cards. That puts 5. Okay, so Chandra... Deal 2 to them. So we're actually going to have to use Chandra here just as a revolt enabler. Just fine. Because I can kill this now. Because I can Yahini's expertise to get the 1/1 back. That's fine. That'll do. Okay, so they have command on top, so that's definitely something. Oh shit. Okay. Well, that's a card. That's 15. I sweep their board. They pay it back, get it. Yeah, I think we have to. We're drawing a land, it looks like. The problem is they can steal like my Chandra and everything now. Was not expecting the Crater Hoof. Kind of hung around here for a while. This might draw them out, actually. Because I still have a board wipe optional. I still have a Wrath of God. Not quite.
No fire, no steam.
Thanks, man. Have a good one if I don't see you. Take it easy. Adding mana. What else you got? Another Crater Hoof. Jade Light. Okay, that's... This deck's greedy on mana.
No tail should be discarded.
No. Wait. Oh, technically, I have one more draw. No. They got us. They got us. Alright, so what do we want in this matchup? Noxious Grasp, Settles, Cage. Maze Mind's Tomes could come out. Croxus could come out. We're not really going to Croxa them in this matchup. Lyra's shown it can go over the top of Uro, which I like. Yahini's expertise is fine early game. Gideon's probably too slow. Maybe Trimachandra. Oh, how am I winning? Nah, I gotta keep Chandra in there. And I don't think we want Thought Distortion. They could be bringing in counters. Still think we want Thoughtseize. Let's trim along the edges. Still have the bigger stuff, so we do want that. Noxious Grasps coming in. It's probably these Othakayas, to be honest. They're just not going to be doing enough here. So I think what we want to try to do is hit like either Tameo early or Command the Dreadhorde out of their hand. We have Blood Chief for an early spell, and then eventually draw into the Chandra or Yahini. This could also give us an opportunity to Thoughtseize their Thoughtseize if they're bringing it out. Interesting they didn't play Stitcher out yet. I went with the red mana here just in case we draw into something.
Your weapons won't help you win. I've been waiting for this.
So here we really want to entice them to overcommit to the board. We have Yahini's expertise. Okay, so they show Pulse. And we have Wrath of God. So I kind of want to entice them with this Pulse to use it. Actually, this will mill over the Pulse, which is better. Okay, so they find an Uro. They can escape the Uro, but I have Blood Chief's Thirst.
Not on my watch.
Which is fine. That would take their whole turn, and then it clears out some of their graveyard. And then we can keep hitting in with Gideon. I wonder if we need to be mindful of like casualties of ward of the opponent. This deck used to be Sweden Ravnica standard, like before Uro was printed. Played like Vraska and stuff in there. So if they command, what do they get? They get that. Then I have Wrath of God.
I've got you.
We're both okay for clock. So prevent all damage here, and then we'll start eating at their graveyard.
Somebody bothering you? I'll make them stop.
So you want to split these usually between creatures.
I'll be back. Just you wait.
In case they have a way to remove one of these, I can Fatal Push something potentially, but I also have this Wrath of God. Okay, double Jade Light. And they're gonna keep both on top. So we're gonna probably take this turn to Wrath. And then exile Uro, exile Yarick.
Who's riddance if you won?
And then just attack in with Gideon here.
That's enough.
These pulses are quite annoying. But the good thing is if they pulse something here and they play out another threat. Okay. That's gonna get pushed. We're probably still attacking in here. Like, it digs them to Uro. That's the only downside. But I can always fog it.
Not if I can help it.
I know. Today's my
I did want that Wrath of God. Okay, so we're alright. They can take a Kaya as the only thing from our graveyard. That opponent's really good at drawing arrows. They can escape it as well this turn.
Let us have a storied battle worth the seek and find.
Yikes, yikes. Okay, we need Thoughtseize.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
But Tamio prevents us from being able to Thoughtseize. Well, that is just super annoying. We drew what we needed, but Tamio prevents it, and we wouldn't have been able to attack in. Okay, so what we're going to do is just try to reduce the amount that they're able here to command for.
I noticed it somewhere.
And then hope we can draw into something. So they did hit the pulse. They're just gonna pulse my Gideon, or we have one more Wrath, but Wrath doesn't really help us here. We need Settle. Two Settles. Can we hit one? Crodia, thanks for the follow. Appreciate the support. One, two, three, four. So I need to shock in. Let me get this out of the way. Jeez. Can't find a Wrath here.
I think you will find my notes helpful.
think they're trying to go Crater Hoof. Well, Crater Hoof's 8 damage, and that should be enough to kill us there alone with just Command the Dreadhorde. Yeah, they have enough anyways. So they have us dead. It's just a matter of them actually following through with it. Now, would have been great if we saw a cage or something. We had a number of turns there to see cage. We are playing 3 of them. Let's give this one more go. First match, we didn't hit any lions. That game was a cool game nonetheless. We lost, but I think there were decisions and lines to be played out. They ultimately had the Uro advantage. Because I don't think we want to play like Cling to Dust, anything like that. Sign looks good. Looks like Sultai, perhaps. Jund. Sacrifice. So we might opt to go Othakaya first and then Chandra after for the life gain. Yeah, I think we do that. Before they get a way to prevent that coming in. They have cat. Do they have oven? Of course they do. Okay, so do I have the mana needed? This turn might just be blow this up. Okay, so if I play out Chandra, I have red, but then I don't have... I could do black. So if I shock this in... No, I'm still missing because Chandra makes double red. I could Angrath, force him to discard. That doesn't really help. So I actually just think we get rid of this for the turn. And just play this out. It's going to be ultimately more of an issue. Because next turn I could go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then like potentially Wrath the God. I can also cycle here. I can Angrath, steal Woestrider. Which I think we do that. I want to get around this being able to sack stuff. Really just want to board wipe at this point. They're still 2 cards away. So they have tower. Attacking in also gains us 2 life, which is reasonable here. Okay, they're just going face. We need Yahini's expertise to be nice. Like, there's a lot of options we have right now. so I think we need to sack this. See if we find removal. Tome doesn't quite do it. So I can do this. Play Chandra. Minus Chandra on the priest. Because they could sacrifice otherwise.
You and I are gonna take 'em out.
I basically just need to try to dig into one of my wraths.
Oh, yep, we're flammable.
Any sort of, yeah, they had the cat. Okay. This matchup gets better post board. Authority shuts off cat. We have settles, braids and cages. I think coming out, Gideon's not that good. Crocs is not that good. Can probably take out the Thoughtseize in this matchup. And Angrath wins, Chandra wins. We need 3 more cuts. I do like the Othakaya. Can probably just trim the Mind Stones, honestly. Is there something I want more than the Mind Stone? Maybe Gideon. If we get him pretty low on board. Gideon, we can also create an emblem, worst case. Okay, let's do that. If we get, like, Lyra down, it's good. Again, if we just see a board wipe there, the game goes a lot differently. Our density of spells isn't the highest. Maybe we do want the Authorities main. Like instead of Croxa. Or if we want, we need something like Conquer's Death. Our lands are a little awkward, but I still think we keep this. This gives me the option. I can push whatever they have and then Authority as well. I can push if they have like Priest or something here. It's probably Lyra. Just need a threat. I'm doing this in case I draw something. Okay, we need red mana, but theory was sound there. That's annoying.
You wanna play with fire? Today's my lucky day.
We do need an answer. Wow. They just went heavy walkers on us.
Yup, you're going
Step
down.
aside or be crushed.
They probably kill this Authority. Would be my guess.
Alive or alive?
Problem is Gideon doesn't actually accomplish much here.
Today's my lucky day.
So I want them to minus with Vraska. This is gonna ultimate soon though. I need to find like a Bedevil or something.
For now.
Devil or Blood Chief's Thirst. Oath of Kaya, even just to slow it down a couple turns. Jeez.
We're done here.
They came out to fight this game. They're attacking on a lot of different angles here. So I can Abrade.
Defend yourself.
They probably just ultimate here. It's too much value for them not to. We kept a hand that was going to deal with creatures, and we never... They had a hand that really countered our approach. Had we had Lyra to be able to attack in, this game goes a lot different, but their Thoughtseize was timely. Think we need to... Jeez. Discard a card, deal 5. Kill my Gideon. Yeah, we're dead here. We did!